Let's have a real conversation man to man. You ever walk into a room, lock eyes with a woman, and wonder what she's really picking up? Not just how you look, not the brand of your shirt, or the way your beard is lined up, but something deeper. Something under the surface. It's easy to assume attraction is built off what we present on the outside. But the truth is, women are tuned into something far more powerful than what you say or wear. They're tuned into your energy, your presence, that invisible current you carry with you everywhere you go. She reads it before you speak. She feels it before you touch. And most men never realize just how much is being communicated without a single word. You know what she notices first? Not your smile, not your voice, not even your confidence. She notices your silence, because in that silence you reveal everything. Are you grounded or anxious? Are you centered or searching? Are you calm or pretending to be? Most guys can't handle silence. They rush to fill it. They talk too much, joke too hard, try to earn space. But a man who can walk into a room and sit in stillness, a man who can look her in the eye without flinching, without chasing approval, and just be that man is different. He doesn't need attention. He doesn't need to be loud. He doesn't need anything. He's already enough. Not it's harder than any line you could deliver, because silence with strength behind it speaks volumes. It says, I know who I am. I'm not here to impress. I'm here to observe, to lead, to exist fully. And that kind of energy doesn't ask to be noticed. It commands it. Asterix, you can tell a lot about a man by how he moves when nobody's watching. You walk into a room, and even if no one's speaking to you yet, even if no one's paying attention, a woman is already reading your presence. She's picking up on the smallest details, how your eyes move, how your shoulders sit, how your energy feels. You don't have to say a word. She knows if you're seeking approval or if you already have it from within. She can tell whether you enjoy your own company or if you're just trying to escape the silence inside your head. That's why so many men fail to make a real impression. They try too hard. They enter a room trying to be liked, to be seen, to be validated. But here's the shift. A man who is grounded in himself doesn't need the room to react. His energy says, I belong here, whether you see me or not. And that quiet confidence, it's magnetic. It draws her attention without begging for it. Because a woman is deeply tuned into emotional frequency, she feels your security or your desperation, before she even knows your name. When you move like a man who enjoys his own solitude, who doesn't need to perform or prove himself, it shifts everything. Asterisk, she sees a man who isn't performing for her approval, and that makes her curious. It makes her lean in. That kind of inner peace, that kind of detachment from external validation creates a gravity around you. You're not chasing energy, you are the energy. Asterisk in that subtle difference. That's what separates the guy she forgets from the man she remembers. Not for what he said, but for what she felt in his presence. Body language never lies. Oh, you can rehearse your lines, memorize the perfect opener, wear the sharpest outfit, but the way you move will always tell the truth. And she's watching. She sees the tension in your shoulders, the way you fidget when you're unsure, the way you shift your weight, cross your arms, look down, avoid stillness. That's not confidence, it's survival. Even if you don't realize it, she does. Because a woman doesn't just look at you, she feels you. She picks up on whether you're at ease in your own body or if you're still carrying the weight of things you haven't dealt with yet. That's why posture matters, not because it makes you look tall or alpha, but because it reveals how safe you feel inside your own skin. But when you move differently, when your shoulders are relaxed, your breath is steady, and your body is calm, you carry a presence that doesn't need to be explained. A man who walks with intention, who doesn't overdo it or shrink back, tells a silent story. One that says, I'm here, I'm whole, and I don't need to hide. And that presence doesn't shout, doesn't demand attention, commands it without trying. She notices the stillness in your face, the strength in your walk, the steadiness in your hands. It tells her you're not reacting to the world, you're centered in it. You're not trying to impress anyone. You're simply expressing who you already are. The truth is, calmness is rare. Stillness is rare. A man who isn't at war with, himself stands out without even opening his mouth. He becomes memorable not because he tried to bib, because she felt peace in his presence. And in a world full of noise, that kind of quiet confidence is unforgettable. Asterisk, every man reaches a point where charm, looks, and clever words stop being enough. What she starts to look for consciously or unconsciously is something deeper, the way you hold your ground. Women test for strength, not always by choice, but by instinct. Not just physical strength, but emotional strength, boundary strength. She wants to feel the edges of who you are, to see if you're solid or if you bend to fit the room. Most men fold. They laugh at things they don't find funny. They agree just to be liked. They overextend themselves to gain approval. And while that might feel like connection in the moment, it's actually the fastest way to lose her respect. Because a man without boundaries is a man without a center. But when she meets a man who knows his limits, who knows when to say no, who knows how to protect his energy, that's when everything shifts. He's not hard or cold. He's clear. He's kind, but not a doormat. He's generous, but not self-sacrificing. And that clarity, that quiet refusal to betray himself just to be liked, sends a powerful message. I respect myself first. What makes her lean in? Not because he's arrogant, but because he's real. Because in a world where everyone's trying to please, he's rooted in something stronger, -self, -respect. And then comes the real test. Pressure. Life throws moments that force you to show who you are. When the mood shifts. When she challenges you. When something unexpected happens, do you crumble? Do you get defensive, emotional, thrown off? Or do you stay calm, breathe, respond? Pressure doesn't build character, reveals it. A man who can stay grounded under pressure shows her something rare, emotional stability. And in that moment, she doesn't just see a man, she sees someone she can trust. Asterisk, there's a certain type of man who doesn't need to announce himself. He simply moves with purpose. And a woman can feel it the moment he enters the room. It's not in how loud he is or how much attention he gets. It's in the way he walks, the way he looks ahead, the way he doesn't linger, doesn't hesitate, doesn't search for approval. She can tell this man has somewhere to go, with or without her. That kind of direction is magnetic not because it's loud, but because it's rare. Most men float. They wait for something external to give their life meaning. But the man with direction, he's not waiting for permission. He's building. He's becoming. He's already moving. And here's the part most guys miss. Purpose isn't about some grand career or flashy mission. It's about clarity. It's about having standards, goals, non-negotiables, and values that you don't compromise for anyone. You know who you are, what you want, and where you're headed. That direction shapes your entire energy. It gives your presence weight. It makes your no powerful and your yes intentional. And that's what makes her pay attention. Not because you're chasing her, but because you're not. When a woman meets a man like that, who's not sitting around hoping she chooses him, but who's already fully immersed in building something meaningful, she feels it. She senses the focus. She sees the discipline. She knows instantly that you're not trying to fit into her world. You're inviting her into yours. That's not manipulation. That's not game, that's leadership. Whether she stays or not, whether she joins your path or not, you remain centered. Because your mission doesn't depend on anyone's presence. It exists with or without applause. And that, more than anything, makes you unforgettable. Asterisk.